Hello, this is Rich from WorkshopAddict.com. This is Sketchup tutorial number 5. We're covering all the toolbar items. We've already covered in the first few videos everything from the select tool all the way up to the follow me tool. So we're going to be starting with this scale tool here. And I don't use scale very often. I do import some AutoCAD DXF files on occasion, and when they come in they're 12 times larger than they need to be. So I'll select the item with the scale tool, click an anchor point on the object and type in 0.0833333, which is 1/12 of 1/12 the size, and that will scale it down to 1/12. So let's go ahead and draw a box. And let's go ahead and make it a group. As I told you, we always need to make a group. I almost forgot to do that there. And we're going to pull it up so it's fairly tall so you can see what's going on with these anchor points. If you highlight the object and you go to scale, you'll notice we get several anchor points. And there's 3 different types of anchor points on here. They act differently in 3 ways. The ones in the center of the face, when you click that, it will only pull that face in or out. It won't. I can't go this way and make it the planes change. Only that particular face. All the 6 sides have these same anchor points on them. See, there's some on the bottom. We can pull those up or down. And the ones in the center only affect that particular face. If I would grab this one, it will control this face here as well as this face on the top. I'll show you how that works. See, by dragging that one, I can move it up and down, but I can also move it around this way. So those anchor points that would join 2 sides like this one, see, I can drag either way with that, but I can't go up or down, make it taller. Do that. Same thing here, up or down this way or this way. The ones on the corners will maintain the aspect ratio of your object. So it's a uniform scale. So when I click that, notice how the thing, no matter what I do, I can't make it narrower without making it the length shorter. I mean, it constrains it so it maintains that aspect ratio. So if I'm bringing something in, like this is an import that I did out of AutoCAD, and I wanted to scale this down in a uniform manner, I would just click on this corner and type in 0.083333 and hit enter, and now I have something 1/12 the size it was originally. By grabbing these nodes or anchors, whatever you want to call them, people call them different things, I just call them anchors, you can type in just a value like 0.5. I just made that box half as tall, and if I click this one on the end and type in 2, I made it twice as long. If I click this one and I type in 1.25, I just made it 25% wider. That's how that works. If I wanted to make the whole box 12 times bigger, again, I can click any one of these corners, hit 12, that box just grew by 12 times. So that's how the scale works. One little tip for you that you might use if you're not overly concerned about accuracy and you just need to get something close, like you're dropping in a car or something for visual effects, you can go in and take your dimension tool here. This is right next to the tape measure. Click on one corner, click on another corner, and you can see we're 133 inches. If we select both these objects, the dimension and the object, and go to scale, we can actually drag that down and watch that that value in the dimension line. Say I wanted that to be 12 inches. It's going to be hard to get exact. I might grab it. 11. See, it's jumping around. It's basically snapping, so it's kind of hard to do. But you can get kind of close. 63. There, we're only a 64th off, so you can get kind of close with that. But it's usually not perfect in that method unless you've drew something to a certain precision, like 1/4 inch increments, and you've got your units turned on to 1/4 inch increments, and you can get it to snap down that way, which is why I told you always want to run the least amount of precision that you can in a drawing. I'm going to leave that there for now. The one of the next tool is the offset tool. This works different than any other offset tool that I've used in CAD programs. Typically, you can use offset tool on a single line, and if you click on offset, you'll notice that we get a little international no symbol. Even if we highlight it, we go to offset, means you can't do it. It needs to be two entities that intersect, a face or an arc. I'm not sure all the idiosyncrasies with the offset tool, but I just want to give you this much information. If we go and select this and then go to our offset tool, it'll work. See how that worked? Same thing here. We can go to offset tool. Oops, I got to get it selected. Offset tool. And start drawing our offset. So if we wanted, say, a 1 inch offset, we can just type in 1. We now have a 1 inch offset. One of the things that I have found, this is a quick way to make a box, is you can go in here and pull the sides up, and we already had a certain thickness to our bottom box. But if you start just a flat plane, I guess it'd probably be just easy to show you like this. Even if it's a group, make it a group. Now we got a bigger group going on there. I had the other one selected, which won't affect us any. So we go in here and we're gonna make an offset of this. One of the things that I found is we can make a box real easy that way, but if we wanted to add some thickness to the bottom of the box and we think we're going to pull that up to, say, 3/4, it doesn't work. It actually moves that center plane on the bottom, so you really I'm going to undo that. You really need to get rid of that bottom and then redraw a new bottom in it and pull that to the thickness you want. So it's not the best way to build a box, but you know, it definitely is quicker than drawing everything individually. So if you want to do that, that's fine. Okay, we're going to go back here, and another thing the offset works good for is, say if you were designing a house and you wanted to draw your foundation, we can easily use the, if that was drawn to scale, we can easily use that to make our 8-inch walls, just like I showed you with the box. Pull that foundation up and, you know, we've got a basement pretty quick. So it definitely works good for that. The next tool is the tape measure tool. We can measure with that. If we go from point here, it will show right next to the tape measure. See, that's 3 and 5/32. It also shows up down here in this length display when we click it, 3 and 5/32. And I'll use that to measure stuff on occasion, but most of the time I use it for creating guides. We talked about that a few times already. You can come down here and pull up, and we can create a guide 1 inch up from there. Say we want to come in this direction 2 inches. These are just construction guides we can use to pre-lay out lines that are on the plane you want, as well as the distance you want, and makes it easier to draw. So we can snap from here to here and back down. So guides can be deleted individually by selecting them and deleting them, or you can just go up to Edit and Delete Guides, and that will get rid of all your guides. The next tool that we talked about just briefly a minute ago was the dimension tool. We can go in here and use dimension to dimension something. It's not very robust in the free version, and the reason is they want you to buy the pro version. So you really don't have a lot of tools with dimensioning, and but it will work. I mean, if you need to lay out a few views, one of the things that you can do is you can do a say for instance we was going to do a top view, and we wanted to dimension these views like this. The only problem with doing something like this in the free version is because when we go to do another view, like a front view, and we need to show the other dimension, it doesn't get rid of these dimensions. So we can go here and notice we've got dimensions that really stayed up here. Well, we really don't need those. I'll show you a little bit of a trick later. I'll talk about it now, but we're not going to get into it at this point. But Sketchup has scenes, and scenes allow you to create a certain camera viewpoint, like front, top, whatever. You can name them. I've got drawings that have dozens and dozens of scenes in them, but one of the nice things is in this scene we can go in here, and instead of erasing this, we can hide it. Now there's an option under View to show hidden geometry. You can see it shows up there. I'm going to turn that back off, but we can hide views or hide entities within these scenes. So if you want to cheat and do it that way, you can. I mean, you can do all your dimensioning of one view and then go to another view and hide them and add the dimension for that view, and then create another scene and hide those. It's a little cumbersome, but it will work, and we'll talk about that when we get into scenes and layers a little bit. The next tool is the protractor tool. It kind of works similar to the rotate tool, except it's basically to measure things, figure out angles, and also set up angled guides. You'll notice it, let me get an angle here, it works the same way as the rotate as far as, see, I've got green, red, blue. If you hold down the shift key, it will lock. Once you get it in the plane you want, it'll lock, so no matter where you go, it's locked to that that axis. We're on the blue axis. So if we wanted to come up here and wanted to draw a guide across here 45 degrees or measure something, we could go down here on this. We're on our blue axis, what we want. Come up here, set our reference point, and we can swing around and notice how this will snap to the end. If you look at the angle down there on the bottom right, it says that it's 90 degrees. As we move in between, it shows the various angles. If we wanted 48.1 degrees, we just type in 48.1 and we'll end up with a guide that's 48.1 degrees. Now we can go here now at this point. Let's get rid of this dimension. We can go in here and we can snap from this corner to this corner. It's trying to autofill in, and from here down to here and here to here. And we can go delete this part, and now we've got a triangle that that is 45 degrees exactly. We can pull that up. So if we want an inch thick, we could do so. And notice we didn't make it a group, so to get rid of it, you know, we can edit all those entities separately. Notice we try to click on it to delete and see how it's pulling around, because we don't have a group. So let's delete that. See, we've got to do all the separate deals. Causes all kinds of chaos. I got the top of my box there. That wasn't a group either. So make sure you group your stuff. Alright, the next tool is the text tool, and that's just where you can type a little arrow and point it at something. It will give you information by default on whatever object you click to. Notice it is giving us information here about that circle. But if you just start to type is a test and hit enter, and I guess that moved it down the line, then it will get rid of that initial information. So you can use that just as little call outs. Once again, SketchUp layout is much more robust if you have that version, but this will do in a pinch. The axis tool is not something that I find much use for, and the reason is I typically draw stuff relative to what I'm drawing. I start a drawing at one point, and I don't build stuff off the relative axis. I build it off the information that's already in the drawing. But how it works is, let's make a group out. Oops, a component. Make a group out of it. Add a little depth so you can see what's going on here. I'm going to delete our guides as well to clean things up. The axis is up here on this corner. If we wanted to go back here and change our axis so it's at this point, we can go in and click this axis tool, click on this corner. Notice how the three different colors of axis are rotating around. We can set that how we want, and now the drawing is referenced off this axis up here. I never use it. I mean, I always start off the axis, but if you need to draw something and you need those visual axis guides, you can do that. But everything I build is dimensioned off something that's already in the drawing. You know, if I build one wall of a house, you know, I measure everything from that. I really don't care what the axis is, but that's what that's for. Okay, that's it for this. We'll pick up a few more tools on the next section.